First things first, my name is Kenneth. My company is ILEG, which is Infusion Light Energy Gain. We have, or actually, Infusion Light Energy Gain technology screens. So we've been having some problems by a fellow by the name of Crow 1176, which now calls himself Crow underscore BH76, which is what he's calling himself now. His real name is Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. So the problem we've been having with him, he's been doing a lot of fake demonstrations against our products, claiming that our products are coming out black. They're scams, they're rip-offs, or this, that, and the other. Fernando's got himself in quite some trouble due to the fact of his background, and what we basically found out that they are now going to be digging into an investigation whether or not he's a United States citizen. The reason why this is being done is because, as I said before, we have to file multiple criminal charges. My family will be filing criminal charges against him due to his actions. So, Fernando, as I told you, from what we've seen so far, from his has a bit of a language barrier. There's some things that are popping up that he may or may not have this paperwork. We hope he has paperwork. We do, because again, I want to sue him. I definitely want to see him in court. I definitely want to see him go to jail because again, he's touched our copyrights. He's violated about everything you could possibly think of. And this is an individual who claims at the end of the day that he is a good citizen of the United States, which he is not, due to the fact that he has broken all types of laws, including committing perjury against his own business, including scamming and ripping off his customers with regular everyday house paint, including, what was the other thing he did with so many charges against this individual, between the perjury, address, it's all kinds of stuff this guy has committed. So he makes people of his race look bad because I have Mexicans in my family. You're about to be married into our family. I have friends that are Mexican. Actually, one of the a buddy was doing some videos for us. A good friend of mine, he's Mexican, and even Jamie has attacked him and gone after him. Jamie will attack anybody that likes our products. He has attacked customers. He has just been a very nasty human being through the entire ordeal. So, we found out yesterday on his YouTube account that he's been doing demonstrations against the Black Star. Now, mind you, this is a product that's been tested time and time again. It can back itself on multiple different levels. We've had we have several companies who actually have this product already. We have had people in and out of the office to see the technology, and it works exactly as it does on camera. By Jamie being threatened by our product, this is how he reacts. So, Mr. Fernando, as I said before, I had to contact a couple of very serious agencies because we may have something called a immigration violation, which means if he doesn't have proper paperwork, and two things come out of that. We don't want to file for certain cases. The other ones I'll file for because again, they're like $100 here and there. But they're Taco, get it together. But there are some cases at the end of the day that will cost us a lot of money. And I would rather prefer 100% find out whether or not if his paperwork is legit or if he does have any form of paperwork. Mr. Fernando tried to make it look like it was something that was racist, which again, this has got him into more trouble. Because I sat there and said before we made this statement, about a couple of days back, that he will try to make this about race. Because he's upset and angry because there's a lot of things that are going to be happening to Mr. Fernando. He could not keep his business. His business did go under. It's not connected in any way whatsoever to the domain. He had to pull it. There's a number of reasons why. There's tax issues that are coming up about him. There's a lot of stuff about Mr. Fernando he was not doing correctly. One of the bigger problems he has is the LLC, as I said before, clearly states that his company has been around for longer than 5 years, sits on his landlord's property. And he's going to have to try to remove that, which he can't because, again, it conflicts with the perjury and the lying on government documents. Mr. Fernando, you see this document we have here? This is one of the 2 documents that will be sent to you Monday morning by certified mail. to get you ready and prepared for court. And because of this, we also too are going to have to contact a special agency, which again, not too comfortable with contacting them, but we have to basically find out whether or not if you're a United States citizen. Now, for those of you saying, oh, you're just picking him out because he's Mexican, no, because Mr. Fernando's English barrier, I have friends that have English barriers, but it's, if you've been here in the United States, you wouldn't have an English barrier. I got friends that are Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans that were born here. And I have ones that weren't. And the ones that weren't have an English barrier. The ones that have been born here, they talk because they've been born here. That's why. It's just simple and plain. They have birthrights to be here. So we can tell from basically your writing and how your speech that you were basically not born here. And because of that, and again, you want to make it racist, again, because of that, we have to make sure 100% before we go to the court to make any statements on this that you are what you are. But then again, I can't see any way around it. But you are what you are due to the fact that I have to file documents against you. And some of these court cases are very expensive. So in order for me to make sure 100% that I'm going to get that money, that I'm going to get my justice at the end of the day, and my family's going to receive their justice for the way you've been carrying on and acting up, we have to look into this. So we'll be contacting immigration on Monday to begin the process of finding out whether or not you have this paperwork so we can go ahead and file our major criminal cases we have against you, which we need to make sure that you are put away. So first thing I'm going to be sending over and getting ready for you is going to be, you made a claim that our product, the Black Star, which we have here, we have multiple companies who have this product. I've had people in and out of here to see the product. The product has amazing, outstanding tests. This one we're going to send to you is about black paint. We'll be requesting black paint to be sent out to us so we can put it against this product because you made that claim in your video. The second document that will come to you is the one for $500,000. Within that document, you made claims about the product that we have here is a fake, a scam, a ripoff. That's what you said, right? All these things. I documented the video. It's been having for court to show the judge. You made these statements, right? So I sat there and said on camera, anyone making this statement, we'll see you in court. So we'll see you in court. Since we're filing it as a cyber crime, you will be coming here. If you don't show up, then what's going to happen is in 3 days, that document's not signed. We don't have it documented in 3 days. Nothing comes up in 3 days on the due date. We're going to have no signature confirmed. Nothing pops up. We'll have a signature confirmed. He has to sign for it. But if nothing comes up, then the next stage after that, we file a lawsuit against you for $2 million. And the $2 million lawsuit, if you don't show up, it doesn't make a difference. They'll take it out of you. Meanwhile, while all that is going on, we'll have to contact the agencies to make sure they can find out whether or not you're legit or not. And we can show that we have documents that we had to file against you showing that you committed criminal charges. We have criminal charges filed against you. We've had a process server come to your front door. So that's the part you don't understand, Mr. Fernando. You can't call this particular agency with a hunch. You get you in a lot of trouble. You have to show concrete evidence that you have gone through the proper procedures through the courts, showing that this person is an interest and this person is in the process of being prosecuted in the court of law, which we have. Which means now we can contact this agency and say, hey, look, we got a person of interest. We need them investigated due to the fact we need to find out whether or not they have paperwork or not. So that way we can proceed on following the more serious charges because they know automatically from the door on their end, we can't get that money back once we file it. So you're going to have immigration now looking into your paperwork. Do I wish for you to be deported? I said this multiple times on camera. I can back it up in front of a judge. You want to sue me for racism? Go ahead, because I can back it up. That I said multiple times, we'd rather you not be deported. We'd rather you be an United States citizen because I want to send you to jail for touching my copyrights. I can get you a cool 80 years with no problem whatsoever for touching those copyrights. So I'd rather prefer you sit in the United States jail for the remainder of your life on this earth and pay out tons and tons of fines and penalties. My family would want the same thing too for basically doxing their address and harassing them at the end of the day. Mr. Fernando, you have made people of the Mexican community look bad. This is the reason why people are started these witch hunts against the Mexican people by making false accusations, by saying that there are all these bad things at the end of the day. And you have now made that come to life. You make your own people look bad. And this is the reason why, and that I say at the end of the day, that we don't go out and judge the entire Mexican community by saying because of one person, they're all bad people. And they're not bad people. They're very nice people. Unfortunately, in different races, you'll have jerks. And Jamie is a jerk. He's definitely one of them. So that's what's going to happen here. We're going to get all this taken care of Monday morning, get this done, get all these documents out to you. Mind you, if none of these documents are signed for or anything whatsoever, any further lawsuits coming up behind that whatsoever, it's just going to make things far worse for you because it shows that you clearly can't back up your claim, even maliciously attacking my company and my family. Let's see. Let's go over to... I got to go over to where it says... what do we have right here? Did we just pull this page up? We literally just had that page up just a few minutes ago. Oh, here we go. Go over here and pull this. Let's see. Statement agreement. Proof of statement agreement. Now, no, Mr. Fernando, that if this document we sent you is not signed, and I have to hire that process server, I will make it so that they will contact your landlord. I will make it so that anyone in that building over the age of 21 will be served, which means your wife. If your wife goes to work, they will go work with her to sign, get her to sign that, get the document. So this process server will be tracking her, just so you know that. And you also, you leave that apartment, you'll get served. And I want to make it crystal clear. We're going to reach out to your landlord because we've been trying to find this guy. For some reason, we can't track him. I don't know what it is, his apartment complex, or what he's trying to hide, but we're going to find out. So I have to hire me an investigator to dig through his property because we have the address already. We'll dig through that property. And I don't think he's going to be happy about that. I'm going to send him a nice, thick, long letter about the problem we've been having with you and Apartment E about carrying on and attacking our company. Let's see, proof of statement. So let me see, Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, I'm giving you full permission to send several containers of black house paint to a resident. I know we sent one of these out here before. We didn't receive anything at all. Let's see. All right, this is the first one, and we need to make another one. Let's see, proof of statement agreement. We're definitely be using that. Let's see, where's that note at? We're right there. There we go. Proof of statement agreement. I'll make sure to get it notarized. We have notaries all over the building, so definitely get that done. Now, Mr. Fernando, so you already know the agreement behind this. We've spoken these things before. If you basically, how it goes is this letter's going to pop up at your front door. It's certified. Only you can sign for this. We will have your signature documented that you signed for this package. It has a very serious tracking, and we can track that thing anywhere it goes. If you refuse to sign for this will be used against you in court. Because again, if you made this claim that my product does this, right, you should have no problem signing that document. Now, I'm going to tell you, because I don't want you crying on YouTube on how bad this is about to get. When that document reaches, if you do not sign it within the timeline, again, we're going to file a lawsuit against you for $2 million. The process server that will come to your front door has permission to serve either you or your wife or anyone in that building and that apartment at that under the 20, over 21. You know how these guys work at the end of the day? They're very persistent. They are very persistent. They will come to your job or her job. They will go to your church. It doesn't make a difference. They're going to serve you regardless of whatever it takes. They're going to come serve you. Doesn't make a difference. You know that big iron gate you had sitting up there? Did the process server we hired get through that? He did. He was at your front door. But this one's instructed to serve anyone in that building, in your apartment. If your wife leaves out that door, they're going to serve her. And she doesn't seem like the type of person that wants to deal with it, because when the first one came there, she barely opened that door. She wouldn't even open the door. She was speaking them through that gate. If that's the case, you're not going to be able to leave the apartment. And you're going to have to leave the apartment if you're going to pay rent. So they'll wait outside for you. So you know. All that stuff you watch about process servers coming to people's jobs, that's a real thing. That's an actual real thing. Now, meanwhile, while all that's going on, we're going to have an agency look into your background to make sure you are who you are. So what they say you're legit and you are an American citizen, I will proceed the process of filing a lawsuit against you in federal court for copyright infringement. And this means you will potentially and definitely 100% receive jail time. Which means, Mr. Fernando, if you don't show up, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. So, but if you are, and you're not, don't have proper paperwork, then you know what's going to happen. Mind you, Mr. Fernando, anyone in that house, they don't just come for one person. They're going to research everybody in that apartment. This is what you got yourself into. Now, you can make it about race at the end of the day, but we gotta know what kind of person you are, Mr. Fernando. You're the kind of person that attacks people, you do malicious acts, and then when the axe comes down on you, oh, it's poor me, I didn't do anything wrong, this person's just openly attacking me for no reason. The problem is we have substantial evidence of you doing these things. The video on your account, we have copies of it. It's all documented for court. So, get ready. All right, proof of agreement. Proof of agreement. Proof of statement agreement. Let me see. Let's see. Statement agreement. To who it may concern. You know how to file documents, Mr. Fernando. The difference between you is I know how to write contracts, documents, all that stuff. I've been doing it for years. I know my stuff at the end of the day. I know how to write court documents. I can file for anything I want because I'm in that field. I know what I'm doing. You couldn't even fill out a proper LLC, a basic document. And mind you, keep in mind, the statement due date is a very easy application to complete. It's not hard. It's not even complicated. You can do a Facebook page. You can do that. It's very easy to do. The problem is, if you lied on the application, it's virtually impossible to fill one of those things out because it requires certain special documents, which now he can't give them because his company lied about its age. So that's the problem he's got himself into. Now, we can't go to the police or the FBI and say, hey, look, FBI probably can look into it. But we're being advised to contact them. We're advised to get them involved because they'll be able to look up his citizenship if he has one or not. They'll be able to find out. I'm going to tell you something right now. I got a strange feeling you don't have paperwork. And the reason why I have it, because again, the language barrier, that's number one. And another one, anyone who does have documents would have posted those documents. Anything. They'd have posted anything. Anything, they would have posted it, the proof. This is a very serious accusation you're being charged with. So he would have posted that right from the door. And you didn't post anything. You did the same thing that the other one did when we were asking for his documents about him being a priest or a minister. Same thing, same reaction. I don't think you have it. So they'll find out. That's their job at the end of the day. It's not my job to go looking around whether or not it's not my business. That's why we're going through this agency. Let them do it. That's what they do. That's their job. You can call it racist all you want. If you feel that you're going to live in this country and you're going to do whatever you want to do and break whatever law you want to break and there's no consequences, and you're in the wrong place at the end of the day, because you get prosecuted. Any country, you get prosecuted for doing something stupid. And this is the reason why you got people that make their race look bad. You make your own race look bad. Because again, that's the reason why they're making these false statements about the Mexican community by saying, hey, these guys are all drug dealers, they're all this, they're all that, these bad people at the end of the day. You can't trust them. They'll violate the government. That's what you're doing. So again, if everything we have here is fake, if my copyrights are real, which we talked to you about multiple times about not touching, if all this stuff, Mr. Fernando, was not real, first things first, the lawyer that we hired would have never sent you those documents, because that would have been harassment if the documents were real that we had. The CCB process server would have never showed up at your door, because it's one of the requests that they asked for on that document, that we have an official registered copyright. Before we can even proceed, before we can even start anything, we have to show that proof, because they don't want wild witch hunts going on. So the fact that we can get a process server to your front door shows that the copyrights are real. Do you take that in consideration? No, you don't. So again, you put yourself in this situation. And no way in the world anyone in the Mexican community should ever follow behind you, because you're a perfect poster child of why they're trying to get them out of the country. You make your own people look bad. So we'll date it. The day we send it out, we'll date it. And you have from that date, the minute it hits your property, it activates. You have 3 days to sign that document. You don't sign that document in 3 days, Mr. Fernando, you know I'm a man that means business. Did I send a process server to your front door the first time? I did. One will come again. And mind you, you still have a couple more coming in. We filed a lawsuit against you for $175,000 for defamation. I also got another picture of you just sent. That's another lawsuit we filed on Monday against you again. Let's see. We have Doc's addresses before you left. I can clearly show that. There's a lot of stuff on you. But again, as I said, that's the reason why we have to contact, let me see, the branch we chose to reach out to. My goodness, let me see what we got here. ICE. They're being contacted. There's a branch they requested. Let me see. We have to, you're for immigration violation. That's what's being contacted. That's being sent to his front door. If he has paperwork. This is how it works. Now, are they going to automatically come to? No. They're going to basically look in to see whether or not he has registration paperwork to be here. That's what they're going to look into. If he doesn't have it, then they're going to come get him. That's what's going to happen. Immigration violation. Basically, this is for committing, breaking the law. This is what this is going to involve. We've had, now if I just call in and to give a tip and say, hey, I think we got a person over there who may not have paperwork, that's racist. Because again, everybody has the right to be here. That's what I believe in. I strongly believe in that. The reason why they're being contacted, Fernando, because you broke a law. You broke many, 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 many laws. Very serious laws. That's why they're being contacted. Because we need to say, hey, look, before we go down this road, and I can't express this enough, and I'm really tired of saying this, but he's a hard-headed guy. He doesn't listen. We need to file criminal charges, and they're going to ask us, do you have dockets? At the end of the day, do you have anything showing that you had, here we go, we had a process server go to his front door for copyright infringements. We had to go back and file again with the CCB. We have pictures and evidence and videos of him attacking our company, doxing addresses, all this stuff that he was doing to try to make our lives miserable. We have all the evidence needed. And I can go to the Allentown Police Department and show a file that we have 23 accounts on you that we had to file with evidence attached of you harassing us through the internet, including where I filed with the FBI. I think that's more than enough evidence to have them do an investigation to look on this. Now, like I said before, if they come back and they say, hey, he's an American citizen, that's fantastic by us, because that means federal court. And a federal court under a copyright means you go to jail. We don't even care about the money in federal court. I want you in jail for a couple years, at least roughly, maybe about 40, 50 years. It would be nice. I'll be happy with that. But we know we're going to get that 100%. See, what you don't understand is the difference between the CCB is when you got on the phone, you started ranting with me and screaming like, get a lawyer, get a lawyer. It doesn't require a lawyer. See, you don't listen, Mr. Fernando. You're like a bull in a china shop. You always wear your emotions on your sleeve. And you start ranting and screaming, and you don't even know how things actually work. You can go watch the video. If you were smart enough, but you're scared, that's why you don't want to watch it. You don't want to watch the video on the CCB to educate you and tells you how their procedure works. Because if anybody would do that, if they're going to court, you're too scared to go there because you know automatically from the door this is going to happen to you. And clearly stated in the video, it said that you don't need an attorney. You could represent yourself, which we don't need one. That they're online. We'll talk to a cyber judge. And from there, if it proves proof that you touch copyrights that show they're registered with the United States government and you don't have proof of permission, you'll be sued. Now that's the easier part. Now federal court is a little different. Now in federal court, what will happen is when you go there, you'll be filed for criminal charges also, which means if we show proof that you have touched these copyrights multiple times, that means that whatever jail time that they're going to give you, that's what you're going to get. And we can sue you in there also too, and they're going to hit you with very major fines, like fines up to $250,000 per work. So you could very well easily get anywhere from 10 years to 5 years to 20 or 30 years. But I can guarantee you one thing, you are going to go to jail. There's no way out of that one. And since we'll have 2 claims already filed, and the third one we already did with the CCB, showing we've had problems with you, and maybe you never logged in, you didn't show up, because I guarantee he's not going to log in. This will be used against you in court, including all the other evidence we have against you. We want to make sure that judge knows perfectly, crystal clear, that you have violated everything that you could possibly think of. And if we find out your paperwork's not legit, you have violated the laws and rules that we have in the United States. Americans don't have a right to go to other countries and carry on and do whatever they want to do and break laws and carry on and act up. They should have to stand the same punishment of whatever laws they have over there. If you went over there and committed it, then you have to deal with it. Same thing over here, Mr. Fernando. You want to make it about race? I'm going to sue you for that, by the way, so you know that. So that'll be in the document. You're being sued for that also, too. But you want to make it about race because you have committed crimes and you know what you have done. And you know what the procedures are, what we have to do. Contact a lawyer. A lawyer will tell you right from the door that I have that right to go in and dig into this particular department to find out whether you have paperwork. Unless you're going to pay me back I'll go file with federal with no problem. You're going to pay me back the money? Of course you're not going to pay me back the money. All right then. Then I need to go in to make sure that you are who you are so I can go about the procedure of doing what has to be done. If it was about race, Mr. Fernando, I can call them Monday morning and I can have them. They're in California right now. They're all in California. Majority, most of them are in California. I can make a phone call on Monday morning and say, hey, look, I got somebody over there of interest. I need you to go check them out. And they will come see you. That fast, that quick. That's it. There's a number on there to leave an anonymous tip to send and any one of those agencies in a direction. If that was my intention to be racist, I could easily make that phone call with no problem. No, Fernando, we're calling them because we need to know if you're documented so we can get you to stand trial. That's what that's for. But I told you people from the door what he was going to do. And I had that time stamp. Before you made your video, I have it time stamped. Saying we made these statements that, yeah, he's going to blow things out of proportion. He's going to make it about race. That's what he's going to do. And therefore, because we had that time stamp making that statement, that's why I made it multiple times on camera. And that's why you're being sued for that, for defamation. Again, the more charges we pile up against you, the worse it gets for you. Now, like I said, the reason why it came up as suspicious and just saying, oh, it was about Mr. Fernando, first time a process server came to your door. Did I mention anything in the video about your race, about your, whether you had paperwork or not? No, I did not, did I? When we filed the lawsuit against you for $175,000, did I mention anything about your, no, I did not mention anything about that at all, period. When I showed him the process of filing for the CCB, did I mention? No, I didn't mention anything at all. The reason why it was brought to my attention because someone brought it to my attention. They said, hey, look, you may want to look into his background. Because if he doesn't have what he says he has, you're going to lose all your money. The money you put in for processing fees, you're not getting that back. That's non-refundable. So, I'm not in the business to lose money. I'm in the business to make money. So this is what I'm going to do. And that's the reason why they're going to be contacted. Now, keep in mind that once they are contacted, we have your address. I know you're still at the apartment because what I saw in the videos, you're still there. You haven't gone anywhere. Which I told you from the door, people, you can't go anywhere. Because the crisis and situation that happened in California with all those houses, a lot of houses went down. You have a lot of people without a place to go. And when you have that going on, then you get greedy people who will pop up, as we saw in COVID, that gouge people for just about anything you could possibly think of. Anytime you're paying $16 for a container of ravioli, you know it's bad. But they know people need a place to live, and they start gouging. You know, let me tell you how bad it was. In the middle of those fires, there were people that were contacting them to see if they can grab land. You're talking about prime locations that, you know, they can grab for a cheap price and make a lot of money. And they were literally that people are that heartless at the end of the day. So you're going to have people at the end of the day that are going to raise the rent and it's a little bit more expensive because these people need places. And that's what went on in that process, which is still going on now, is these people were trying to find some kind of hotel accommodation, something at the end of the day, and someone who couldn't have that money had to go at a shelter. But even the people who had the money to go to hotels, they were gouging the daylights out of these people because they know they needed a place to stay. And with that being said, that means the landlords are going to start pushing that rent through the roof. Even though they passed laws to them not to do it, they're still going to do it. They're still trying to make up for COVID. So, with that being said, if you have a place that's rent controlled where your landlord has not boosted the rent or charged you a lot of money, like a lot of people being charged, most people are going to stay put. They're not going to go anywhere. Especially with now certain, I hate to put it this way, people, if they want to apply for an application, are put under a magnifying glass for it, and they have to be thoroughly checked out, which means they'll have to do those background checks on you. Jacked up, but it's true. So you're better off being where you're at. You can't go anywhere. We know that from the door. So with that being said, you're going to stay put. You're going to be there until all these agencies come to your front door to get all this taken care of. All right, let me see. Okay, there we go. Let me confirm. No, that's not it. That's not what we want. We're asking for other document. Where is it? Right here. Concern. This statement of agreement letter has been issued for. This statement of agreement letter has been issued for. See how these documents pop up, Mr. Fernando? Backing up everything I'm saying out of my mouth, because I've done these before. I've actually had to send one of these out to somebody. And you know what happened, Mr. Fernando? They failed to do so. They got sued. Because we can use that against them. That's better than a cease and desist order right there. Way better. And I don't have to pay an attorney to do it. Because if you're saying what you're saying about our product, and you're saying this is 100% true, that our product came out that dark after all that testing, and mind you, I'm in a commercial environment. People walk through here all the time. So I guess you're the only person that can get our product, and you don't have our product, by the way. You don't have any receipts from him. He never purchased anything from us at all whatsoever. I'm curious to see one of these containers he claims to have. Again, and the only ones that went out were gallons. We didn't sell any quarts of this yet. Companies had access to this first. I literally stated it on camera. I said companies have access to it first. We didn't even make it available for customers yet until later on. So you wouldn't have had that product. So I'm curious to see this container, because we're going to issue that in court too. We're going to request the container, all that. We want receipts, we want everything. Let's see. Why does it keep switching that back over here? We need this here. There we go. To make concern. Let's see. This statement capital. My gentlemen, don't forget your capitals when you write letters on the beginning. This statement of agreement letter has been issued for Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. Your name has been entered into the system so badly of problems we had from you that all we have to do is mention your name and you pop up on Google for court cases, perjury, fraud against your customers. You think I'm joking? Look at that. And we have documents to match everything we stated. Just like I did that thorough demonstration yesterday, we talked about why he's got himself in this situation. We backed up everything we said, because you have to back up everything you say out of your mouth, or you can be sued for this. That's what these are. So there's evidence behind all this, just on your name. They go do some research. This is going to pop up. They're going to see this. They're going to see your perjury. We put documents on that. So mind you, they got to do a background on you. They're going to bring all this up. All this is going to come up. I sat there and made that statement on camera about touching it. I told you, you'd be the first one to mess with it and make a claim, make some false claim against our company. Let's see. For Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. Get your address in there. Make sure your address was stated. Let's see. I'm a busy man, Mr. Fernando. I got things to do, but I'll take the time out to handle this real quick. Let me see. If they send the courts a copy of your document, I got your full address, all your information, and unfortunately the one you used on 317 Kern Street, where you was using its family member's address to commit crimes. Let's see. Take this one right here. Now, I'll have a copy of this. Judge will have a copy of this. Everyone's going to get a copy of this, Mr. Fernando, knowing that we did reach out to you. about the situation we had, and you go to arbitration. In arbitration, mind, you'll have to back up that that product did exactly as you claimed in your video. If you can't back this up, you owe me $500,000. That's how that works. It's simple and plain. There's no back and forth. I have no time to be doing this. I don't have the time. I told you, simple, cut, and plain. So if what you said that our product came up that dark next to gray and white paint, as you claimed in your video, it came up unwatchable, unseeable, as you said, then you should be able to get $500,000 out of me, right? All right, then. If you can't back it up, then you're in a lot of trouble. And then within the 3 days' time, if we don't get that letter back, because again, it shouldn't take you long to sign something to mail it. Even if it shows it's in transit and we show it's going back to destination, we're good with that. But if you ignore it, then the next one that comes out with you will not be a letter. It'll be a process server that will come to your front door, and he will serve your wife or you. So your wife's going to be very upset by that she can't leave the apartment because there's someone out there waiting to serve her for you. And that's going to trigger off a lot of arguments in that apartment. Meanwhile, you may get a letter from immigration letting you know that you're under investigation. Let me see. I also will have a cease and desist order sent to you about the racial comments you've made, statements against you. I would expect you to respect that document when it gets there and go through the proper procedures that the lawyers need you to go through. Because I'm going to send you one of those too about the comment you made about me. Mr. Fernando, we're not here to play games with you at the end of the day. You understand this? It's not a YouTube game at the end of the day. This is your life. You have to understand this. This is your life. What's going to play out in the next couple months, it's going to mean two different things. Whether you leave the United States, and you won't be coming back, so you know that. I will make sure you have pending charges on you. You will have pending charges regardless. So you're not coming back. Or you'll spend your time, the rest of the remaining time, at being 49 years old, in a federal prison. Those are the only choices and options you have now. Now, did I send a certified letter to you about sending us black paint? I did, didn't I? Did I receive it? No, we never got it. I can literally use that against you in court. Let's see. Address. Let's see. I'm going to put that up. Let me see here. Address. I wonder how many letters we get wrong on this. Oh, I guess I can do that. I want to see how many we got. Address. I think it's down here 4. Down next to that name. Now, Fernando thinks this is a joke. He really does. But I think that wake-up call is going to come Monday morning when these agencies contact you and request. And that's when you're going to realize. And you're going to see him on YouTube ranting. We expect it. He'll be on YouTube ranting and carrying on and acting up and saying, hey, look, he's attacking me because I'm Mexican. No, Jamie, we're coming after you because you're a criminal. That's what you are. It has nothing to do with race. You are a criminal. That's why we're coming after you. You broke the law. Like I said, you make the Mexican people look bad. They're trying to come over here and do positive things to try to get their citizenship, to try to get good jobs. They're trying to do something great. You are making them look bad. You're the reason why they have campaigns like that. And why they're making statements why they don't want them over here, because they're nothing but trouble. I'm a businessman at the end of the day. You're attacking my company. You're attacking my family. How well does that make your people look? Extremely bad. I can literally start a campaign off of this. If I was a racist person, I literally have enough evidence to prove to say, hey, look, I got a Mexican person attacking my company, attacking my family, touching my government copyrights. You know how bad that would be? Yeah, good thing I'm not a Trump supporter, because I can literally use this on so many levels. It's not even funny. Imagine if I was a Trump supporter and you did this nonsense. What would happen out of this? I literally have hardcore evidence. You attacked me. There you go. So if I was racist, it could have